Hello and welcome back to another video. You have tuned in to DW's Hearts at Home, and welcome back. Welcome if this is your first time coming here. Today I feel like it's time to do another video, just giving a refresher on what it takes to become a homeschool, and the ins and outs of that. I've done a video like this before down lower, but it's always good to have one at the top, a new one, just for the new people who have come in, the new people who are going to be joining me. Prayerfully, you all find a good reason to stay and stick around. Subscribe, like if you feel like it. Just don't feel welcome. Just kick off your shoes and relax your feet when it comes to being up in this household, okay? Because we are cool, chill people. We love to have fun. We love the Lord, and that's what matters the most, okay? So welcome. We welcome you once, we welcome you twice, we welcome you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. So now that we've got that out of the way, first things first, when it comes to homeschooling your children, when it comes to making that big step, that big decision, that big leap, of course, it's going to take a level of commitment, because you are the one that has to get up each and every day to make sure that your children are getting the things that they need to succeed in this life. You, as a mom, a dad, are not going to want just to send your children out here like sheep among wolves. You want them to be prepared on every level concerning what they need to know to be able to live this life and be productive citizens in this world, right? So that's the first thing you need to come to understanding of, is that it will take a level of commitment. You're not going to just feel comfortable day by day with your children in the house and they haven't learned anything, or you haven't done any studying of any kind. Those type of parents, I believe, is really neglectful in that manner, because what are you doing if you're not getting up and doing something in the way of teaching, learning, or mastering certain skills so that your children can be successful in life? So that is something that you really have to come to grips with in your heart. Some people know in their minds and their hearts, I can't do that. I really can't do that. Though I feel like if these are your babies and you really care about their mindsets, their well-being, their mental state, it's something that you really have to take under consideration, that if this something that they're missing or not getting in the public school system, you might have to take the charge and take over that thing. So that's just really what it comes down to when you are thinking about embarking upon this journey. And that's just what it is. It is a journey, and it is a beautiful journey at that. I don't understand when I hear people say, I can't do it, I gotta send mine to school, I don't want to see their faces. Like, why did you have them if that's how you really feel about them? So I taken aback when I hear certain things like that. And I just I offer prayer in my mind to that situation. Lord, I don't know what's going on, but Lord, help that parent to not feel that way about their baby. That's really scary. When you come to think about it too, it's like, you don't want to see them. You rather send them off to public school because you don't want to do the work. What is it? So I'm not the best person when it comes to being routine and having the schedule, but I do the best I can do. I try to not let that be my excuse to not school the children, because really, it's not about me, it's about them. I brought them here, so I want to make sure they can get the best of every situation. Okay, so you've made the decision and you've made up in your mind, I'm going to do this. I'm going to homeschool my kids. I'm going to take the leap of faith and I'm going to do this. What do you need to do next? Well, you have to go and obtain a withdrawal letter, which you can either type it up yourself and word it yourself, Or you can get on the computer at the library or in your home. They have templates, online templates, examples of already written withdrawal letters. And that's what we use. We use a template. We took the name and address, the John Doe name, and I erased it, and took the fake address and erased it, and I put my information on there. And at the bottom, you're going to have a line for the principal and a line for yourself, for the principal to sign and for you to sign. And you're going to have them make a copy of that so that they have a proof of the copy, and then you need to have a copy for your records. And you take and put that in a sheet protector, put it in a file, put it in a safe place. And you always want to have that as your proof as to your children being taken out of that school. So no one can ever come to you and say anything. You have your withdrawal letter. And we've never had any issue with anybody coming to us asking us for anything. We requested our kids files, their documents from the school. We never got them, but that didn't stop anything. We have our own documents. We have our own papers and things and records that we kept over the years. That, it is what it is. Our kids didn't stay in school too long. My oldest was in school till about 6th grade, I do believe, and my youngest only went to school. Well, she was the youngest at the time. She only stayed in school 1 year, so she did kindergarten, and then she came out and did 1st grade with me. And so I had a 6th grader. I think Mike might have been 4th grade. Mickey might have been 2nd grade when she came out. So we started our school homeschooling in 2015. And at that time, we had 5 to 6 children in that home. And ourselves, it was a 2-bedroom house. And so they were bunk bedding and things like that. We didn't have much room. So we used the kitchen table as our homeschool area. The dining room area was our homeschool area. And so that right there lets you know that you use what you have. You don't have to make an excuse for what you don't have to not do it. Use what you have, and God will bless and expand you as the years go by. All right? So the next thing you need is to name your school. And at first I didn't think this was important, but now I do know, because we have graduated 4 of our children. It is very important to come up with a nice professional name for your school, because if you do, in fact, graduate your students, you're going to want to have a nice homeschool name to go on that high school diploma. And they do sell official looking diplomas online. I'll have to get my husband to give me the email for that, and I'll have to put that information in the description box later. But I will get that. The diplomas are gorgeous. They are beautiful, and we've actually had to use one, the first time for our oldest student who graduated from our school a year early. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So, how to finance. How do you finance your homeschool? Say you might be a single parent or a 2-parent home and just have one income. How do you do everything that you're already doing and then include homeschool in the finances? Well, sometimes it's not always feasible. If you were in public school, you would have to purchase new clothes for your children, unless you got, some hand-me-downs or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. You would have to purchase them new supplies every year. So it's the same thing for homeschool. You have to get your paper, your pencil, the necessary things. Sometimes you might need a tablet or a laptop if you don't want to go to the library, if you want to do everything at home. Sometimes you have to have certain electronics. Sometimes you have to have certain things. How do you fund that? Well, we had to ask Google, how do you get money? Does the government provide money for homeschool? Not all the time. Now, I heard Trump say that he was going to give $10,000 per student in homeschools, but we've yet to see that. So when we looked up how do you get money to do homeschool, back when we were researching it, it literally said you just have to get donations. And I think I read, if I'm not mistaken, you can get up to $5,000 per year without reporting it to your taxes. And that's something I research as well. You can also use hobbies. Any hobby that you do that can earn you money or something to that effect. You would then hold on, guys. Okay, back to it. So, yes, like I crochet, my daughters bake, my husband cooks. You can do a lot of things that can earn you money on the side in order to get the supplies you need, in order to save money for your school, to take your children on field trips, to go on outings, socials, whatever the case may be. They also provide certain entities, certain businesses provide activities for homeschools on a lower rate. I know the Ninja Warrior here in Lee Summit does. There's a place, Sky something. It's a place where they jump, get air or something. They provide things for homeschool. It's not free. Blue Springs, Rink Racks, they provide homeschool skate where they only allow homeschoolers to come in on certain days of the month, and they pay a lower rate for skating. They might get a hot dog and a drink beverage, and it was $4, but I think they took the price up to $5 or $6 or something like that. Whatever the case may be, only homeschool. That's the cool part about it, is that while other kids are in school on this Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday morning, all the homeschoolers are there skating at the skate rink. And we think it's so funny and so cool because it's like, okay, you get to have that freedom when you homeschool your children. They're not locked into just doing, certain things at certain times. You don't have to homeschool in a day. You don't have to just do it a certain way. You can make your schedule to be feasible for you. So if you work in the day, you can come and homeschool in the evening, but you really have to have that persistence, drive, perseverance, and that vigor to really get through working a job. And I've done it, and teaching your children. There were times where I worked at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would get up at 6, teach those children for 5 hours, and then I would go to work. It's not the easiest thing, but I did it. It can be done. That just shows you it can be done. If you really want to do something, you can do it. Okay, so again, they have lots of things for homeschoolers to participate in. Even Crown Center has a homeschool month or whatever. But you have to get out there and research what do they have available for homeschoolers sometimes. I wish they really had a way for us to make a card or something for ourselves, some sort of ID for ourselves where we could go to certain bookstores and get books on the discount, but that's not always, the case. Let's see, back to it. So we also have another way to finance it. Okay, Dollar Tree is another way to get cheap supplies, paper, books. They have workbooks, activity books for preschool through like 5th grade or something like that up there. That's a way to get inexpensive learning material and your learning tools. So we want to go even better. Say you want to, let's see, you're trying to save money, you don't have much money. They have an online school called Easy Peasy Homeschool All in One for the elementary side of things and then the high school side of things. So Easy Peasy is what we have been using for a lot of years. People ask, is it accredited, things to that nature. I'm not sure. I think they've gotten it to be that way. But at the end of the day, even if you make up your own curriculum, they must have, I think it said 400 or 600 of the hours must be core curriculum. You can do all kind of other learning, but they have to have that math, reading, history, or social studies, and science. So that's what Easy Peasy offers. If you can't think of lesson plans or things to teach on, Easy Peasy has all of it. They have preschool to 12th grade, and they have math, reading, English, what they call literature composition 1, 2, and 3. They have algebra, trig, calculus, I do believe. They have it all. So you will then gauge and measure or test your child to see what level they're on, to see what they can handle, and you put them in there, and they have every lesson, day 1, 2, 3, 1, day 1 to 181. That's 181 days of school. They have all of it. So a full year's worth of school, and it's really something that helps take the pressure off you trying to find lessons if you can't go and afford the books at Mardell's. Because those books, you can get some previously owned, lightly used books, and they can be like discounted, the book kits or whatever. They have the whole curriculum set. Or if you get individual books like Easy Grammar, which is an English course, Spectrum, which are math practice books, you go get those. Some of them will be $7, some of them will be $12, some of them will be $30, and they have the student books along with the teacher answer book, and also it allows you to help teach them how to do certain lessons in the English part. So I really love the books in Mardell's because it's Christian literature where you have some regular basic regular books, and then they do have their Christian curriculum. So that's a great thing. Like one of the best things that I got to see in the science book, one of the first pages was that God is science. And I was like, they didn't teach us that in school. They did not teach us that in public school. So I love that we get a truth when it comes to our learning. It's not just whatever they want us to know. We get our truth when it comes to being a follower of Christ. We get something for us. And I love that about that. Another thing that's free is K through 12. And they'll ship you some sort of learning kit to go with the child's learning. I don't know if they give laptops or not, but they will check in every day, attendance wise, with a teacher, and the teacher will help teach them these lessons and however else it works. So that's another program. You can look it up and it'll tell you everything that it does. Another free way to give lessons is through YouTube. Now, YouTube is a great learning reference. It has everything from how to do hair, how to fix cars, how to crochet. Everything you want to learn is on YouTube. But I will implore, if you put your child on YouTube, you will have to monitor them, because YouTube also can be very dangerous for children, and they could veer off, or if it's on autoplay, it could veer off into a whole another total different subject of something that you weren't ready to teach your children, like for what did they call that, boy girl education. We don't need that. We don't need that till you ready, and then you teach it to them. So you have to monitor them on all internet-based electronics for their safety. Also on the internet, you will find free worksheets and printables. So that is another great thing. If you have a computer and a printer at home, you can print off worksheets for free, math, whatever they have that's available. Also with Easy Peasy, if you don't want to do online learning, if you want your child to have a book, they also provide books for you to get per lesson for each subject. So you can purchase the books offline. Some of them will be $12, some of them will be $7, and sometimes you can get even cheaper books if you go on this site called thriftbooks.com. I had got some off of there, and sometimes it's written in pencil or pen. You can erase it, but because it's written in or used or donated, that's why you're getting it cheaper, And I've had a homeschool mother, when my kids were at the track one time, when she found out I homeschooled, she was done using a lot of the stuff she was using. She came and brought me stuff that she had from her classroom to my house, and she gave me a desk, she gave me an office chair, she gave me a bunch of books that I still have today. And that was back in when we first got here, 2016. So um that's the one good thing about homeschool, is that if you find other homeschool families, you can find camaraderie and co-ops and do a lot of, helping each other out, help each other out. So that's a great thing also. So the one thing I could tell you about starting to homeschool is you have to be confident as a mom. No, if you did not go to school, and I didn't go to school to be a teacher, I wanted to be a teacher. So that's what kind of makes it easy for me, is because I wanted to actually be in that line of work, but I didn't do it. You have to be confident that even though you might not know everything, God will provide and supply you with the knowledge that you need to educate and teach your children properly. You're not going to get it all. You're not going to even think or feel that you're doing enough, but He will fill in the rest, what is lacking. So that's one thing you need to know, is to lean and depend on God, because if it wasn't for Him, I couldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have kept doing it, because there were times where I got frustrated. Times where I got frustrated with how they were acting or whatever the case may be. I'm like, yo, mom, I'm your mama. I'm taking the time out of my time and my day to do this. I could be out gallivanting or shopping or doing other things, walking around, but I'm taking my time to school you. So sometimes you have to let the children know that you got your diploma. They have to do the work that it takes to get theirs. So it's real serious business here. It could be fun and games, but it's really serious when it comes to making sure they're prepared properly. And with that, like our first one, he was able to graduate a year early and enter into the military. He was there for 4 years, and at 17 he got to travel North Carolina, South Korea, and that was scary for me, knowing he had to ride all those miles, all those hours over water to get there. But he was fine. He had fun. He learned new things, and it was quite interesting listening to the stories. And so I thank God he made it through. He got out, and that he's even still yet out on his own, living in his own place. He obtained the job in the field that he got in the Army, which was diesel mechanic. So as you see, it can be successful if you work it and if you just lean and depend on the Lord. Because truly, that it wasn't me. I did what I could do, but God did the rest. Okay? You don't need everything. Once you get on YouTube, if you research homeschool, girl or father, you're going to see so many homeschool families and all these different homeschool rooms, and you're going to think, I need to go to IKEA. I need some bookshelves. I need some desks. I need this. I need that. You don't need all of that. Minimal, sometimes it's the best, because you got to clean all that stuff up. You got to clean their classroom up once they're done using it. You can basic is all you need. You don't have to have everything to have a homeschool. You can use your kitchen table. You could be in the bedroom on the bed. You could be on the couch in the living room. But just know that you can do it. You don't need experience. All you need is passion. Okay? You are your child's best learning tool and example, whether we know it or not. That's why, truly, our first year of school, it really helped me to check myself, because while I'm teaching them, I don't want to be a hypocrite, and I don't want to be, telling them to do something and then I'm not doing it. So it really helped me in checking myself and making sure I was doing all my things correctly, because I'm their prime example. They're watching me each and every day. And I don't get everything right. I don't do everything perfect, but I try to help steer them in the right direction so that they can be, again, successful in life. We have now graduated 4 of our children out of school. We got 2 boys and 2 girls out. I got 2 children left to get through, and I'm putting them both in 9th grade this year. So I am excited for this year. I'm excited to see some of the videos or footage and content that I'll have to put out this year. And I'm just so excited. I really am. So I just want you all to be encouraged and know that you can do it. If this is something that you desire to do, don't be afraid. Just research, do some studying. You're gonna have some nice, boy. When I really get into it, it's hard to put it down, because when you're really studying for your children and learning new things, and you just start be like, you're learning new things for yourself too, not just for them, but for yourself. So I think that it is a great thing to do. I think it is a great way to teach your children. There's so much bad going on in this world, and so much bad things that the children are having to absorb through other outlets, and it's not fair. I feel like we should have an opt-in, opt-out button, but they're not giving us that. They're not giving us that. So that's why we took it in our own hands, and we decided we are going to do it ourselves. So I just pray that you all can, allow the Lord to lead you in this step that you're going to make, and just, have fun with it. These are your babies. If you love them, then you're going to love them. You're going to love them through this process too. And then this is an experience that you don't normally get in the time that you won't be able to get back. Truly, like when they go to school, they're in somebody else's hands. But when they're at home with you, you get to see all the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, and the laughter, the fun, the things you get to create all through the years. And it's just a blessing. To me, it's just a blessing. So I hope this video helped you and inspired you in any kind of way. If you were thinking about becoming a homeschool mom or dad, if you have any questions, I try to be a resource as it comes to homeschool. Just from the years that we put in, we've been in it since 2015, and we're still going. So if you need any help or questions, if I can help, I will definitely try to do that. Leave comments if you would like to. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to. And we will see you again on another video. All right? You guys have a great day. Bye.